Good evening and welcome. You're watching the NewsTrack. I'm Rahul, Kanwal. Siddaramaiah, the Karnataka Chief Minister, is bringing out his caste survey before the cabinet tomorrow. This has unleashed a hornet's nest in Karnataka. What are the political consequences if the caste survey, in the way that it's appeared in the public, actually goes through? What impact will it have on Karnataka politics? What are the implications for national politics? That's my top focus on the NewsTrack.
Karnataka Caste Survey Storm. Caste findings splits Congress. Discontent brews in dominant castes. Why put out caste survey now? How will it impact Karnataka politics? Big focus on NewsTrack.
The Karnataka Caste Survey that estimates a 38% increase in the population of OBCs and recommends increasing OBC quota has turned the state's politics on its head. There is widespread discontent brewing among the dominant Lingayat and Vokkaliga communities. The survey has also split the Congress government in Karnataka. Many ministers are opposing the survey findings. The socio-economic study was conducted 10 years ago. The question being asked by the BJP and even within the Congress is, why has Chief Minister Siddaramaiah decided to put out the caste study at this time?
Hours before the Karnataka Caste Survey report is placed before the state cabinet, a big political storm is brewing in the state. The survey that recommends increasing the OBC quota in the state from the existing 32% to 51% has sparked massive churn within the Congress and the dominant communities. On Tuesday night, Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar, a Vokkaliga leader himself, met community leaders.
So, cabinet ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಜನರ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಇದ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೋ, ಏನು ವಾಸ್ತವಾಂಶ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ.
The report, shared 13 months after the Karnataka State Backward Classes Commission presented it to the Siddaramaiah government, has estimated the population of OBCs to be 69.6%, 38% more than the existing estimates. The socio-economic survey has come under fire from the Vokkaliga ministers and leaders within the ruling party, who have described it as a grave injustice to their community.
Major communities state Karnataka east side first second ಇವೆರಡನ್ನ ಎದುರ್ಕೊಂಡು ರಾಜಭಾರ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ?
A top Vokkaliga seer has also called for D.K. Shivakumar to be made Chief Minister.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾವನೆಗಳು, ನೋವುಗಳು, ಕಷ್ಟಗಳು, ತಿರಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು, ಕಲ್ಲು ವಿಗ್ರಹ ಆಗುವ ಹಾಗೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಕೂಡ ಪೂಜೆಗೆ, ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಅರ್ಹ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಡಿ.ಕೆ. ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಹಲವಾರು ನೋವುಗಳನ್ನ, ಕಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನ ಸಹಿಸಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆದ ಮೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ, ಸಿಲಿಯಾಗಿ.
ಈಗ ನಾವು 17ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಏನು ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಇದನ್ನು ಜಾರಿ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಅವರು ಖಂಡಿತ ಅಂತ ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಉಗ್ರ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
Some houses they might have lost.
Attention has also turned to Jayaprakash Hegde, chairman of the Karnataka State Commission for Backward Classes and a Bant Vokkaliga himself.
The members who are living there, they should not complain without seeing it. It's just for the sake of politics they should not complain. I would ask them to, even after tomorrow's cabinet decision, they should take the cassette or CD, whatever it is, compare it with the figures.
Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, who initially backed the report, is now more cautious.
ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಳೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗಳಿಗೂ ನಾಳೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. 5 ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಒಕ್ಕಲಿಗ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಗಳು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಇದು ಸೋಷಿಯೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಸರ್ವೆ, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ.
BJP is questioning the legality of the caste survey and accusing the Congress of playing caste politics.
तो ये जो सेंसस हुआ है पूरा गलत है। ये लोगों के बीच में दरार करने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये कांग्रेस पार्टी जब आते हैं तोड़ने का काम अगर देश में कोई कर रहा है वो कांग्रेस पार्टी कर रहे हैं।
With concerns raised within the Congress and outside, the question is, why has Karnataka Chief Minister suddenly decided to go public with a caste survey a decade after it was conducted? With Nagarjun Dwarkanath and Sagai Raj in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
Ladies and gentlemen, make absolutely no mistake, this caste survey presented by the Karnataka government is a hornet's nest. It's already biting the Congress government of Siddaramaiah in different ways. There are two questions here. One, what impact does this have on Karnataka politics? Rahul Gandhi is determined to do the same nationally, and therefore what are the consequences if a study of this nature is implemented by other state governments and nationally? So there's a lot to talk about, because this can fundamentally alter the nature of Indian politics. I want to go across first and foremost to the Labour Minister of Karnataka, the chief spokesperson of the Siddaramaiah government, Santosh Lad, now joins us. Mr. Lad, great to have you back on the NewsTrack. Thank you for taking our time.
Thank you, Rahul.
I want to ask you, and I have a whole bunch of psephologists, election experts, politicians joining me after you. I want to ask you, what impact do you think on Karnataka politics will this caste survey have? It's clear directionally that the weightage given to Lingayats and Vokkaligas, which are the two most important communities and castes in Karnataka, is seeming to come down. The OBC weightage in categorization is going up, which is great for Siddaramaiah because he's a Kuruba coming from the OBC category. But this really disrupts Karnataka politics. So we'll do the Panditri. What impact do you think this caste survey will have from your lens on Karnataka politics?
Okay, I don't know what is happening, the impact, but the impact is happening in all the studios of the media. That is sure now. Now, just as of now, every media is speaking about it. This is the impact now. But let us analyze, Rahul, what is this all about? It's just about a caste census of every community. Okay, there is no doubt about SC, ST and Muslims, other minorities. The only question of doubt is all about OBCs and Lingayat and Vokkaliga as far as in Karnataka is concerned. As of now, there are 5 such committee reports earlier from past 7-8 decades, which always the same apprehension, the same objections were raised. Now, the government of Karnataka, in its wisdom, it has brought this caste census, which has been tabled to the cabinet now. Yes, obviously, when it has gone to a public domain, there's so much of hue and cries there. Always every community in every state, in every part of India, you go and ask them, they say, Mera community zyada hai, uska community kam hai, Mera community zyada hai, uska zyada hai. This is a very common phenomena. Coming back now, this is the 2011 census, and this caste census was made somewhere in between 2014 and 2015. So now the apprehensions whoever has got, if the government is coming up and telling, यदि तुम्हारा तालुक में इतना population में ये subcaste है, take that first into report, whatever the report is been given by the government. यदि तुम्हारा constituency में 2 लाख में इतना subsect है, 2 lakh people इतना subsect है, verify yourself and come back. This is anyway this the committee which is going, this board which is there, the backward class committee is going to be there forever. The members will be changing. It's same like an voter list. How every year we change the voter list, every elections we change the voter list. If there is any difference also, I apparently feel yes, there would be a difference. 5% to judge ho hi jayega. There must be some 5% difference. If there is any difference among the community, because when I was surprised, now there are 1800 sub-communities in this state. So when people go and approach your door and ask a question, everybody would not narrate according to the way everybody wants.
Lad,
so everybody will speak up differently.
Mr. Lad, you're making it seem as if this is some procedural bureaucratic routine. It's not. This fundamentally changes the nature of Karnataka politics. If implemented nationally, it changes national politics. Now, I want to explain to our viewers why. And I don't typically get into castes and don't really look at which Neta comes from which caste. Mr. Lad comes from an OBC caste. And just 1 second. Allow me to complete my question and then respond. Just give me half a second. Mr. Lad comes from an OBC caste. The Chief Minister is from an OBC caste. And therefore, to them, it is to their great advantage. But anybody who knows anything about Karnataka politics knows if you upset the Lingayats and if you upset the Vokkaligas, that's the end of your presence in Karnataka politics. The reason that the Siddaramaiah government and the Congress won is because they got a part of the Vokkaliga vote, they got some part of the Lingayat vote, and they had the OBC vote as well, which is how they had this big coalition. You double Muslim categorization, reduce Lingayat Vokkaliga categorization. If you push this through, Mr. Lad, it could well mean the end of the Congress in Karnataka. You don't have the Vokkaligas on your side, you don't have the Lingayats on your side. It's game, set and match for the BJP.
Rahul, I understand where you're coming from. I've lived 30 years in politics. So you're setting a narration in the studio, is it? What is going to happen? Let us see what is going to happen next. That's secondary. But the way you're discussing, you are as if this is setting a narration. What is this now? What is the report tabled? Okay, let us discuss only about the table. You discuss only about the report, Rahul. You are speaking something, what is going to happen, what is not going to happen, as if to say we have done something to Vokkaliga, Lingayat or other. Nothing has been done. Yes, in case if there is somebody, some number is let down for number, for example, or Vokkaliga, Lingayat or any OBC for that matter, there is always an option to see. First, nobody is ready to read the report. Has anybody read the report completely? Have you read the report completely?
I've read enough of the report. I've read all the operative elements of the report, which give me a pretty good sense of how category A, category B and category C moves and the impact this has on different categories. That's quite clear. Sir, the minutiae matters only to a certain extent. The fact that the political ultimately, how do parties give tickets? They give tickets on the basis of their understanding of the numerical dominance of certain castes. No matter who says what, whether it's the Congress or the BJP, that's how tickets are given. If the message goes out into the markets that Lingayat numbers have come down, Vokkaliga numbers have come down, next time tickets are being given, fewer tickets will be given to candidates from this community. If that message goes out, voters from that community will turn against your party. This is fundamentally how, like it or not, accepted on TV or not, that is fundamentally how politics happens in this country, unfortunately.
Rahul, if you want to, then you have to give me some more time to discuss at length. So now let us consider Vokkaliga and Lingayat. Predominantly, they are definitely a stronger community in the state, and they have been phenomenal community which have transformed the state also in a bigger extent. There is no second thought about it. They have contributed enough to progress of the state, and a lot of mutts of Lingayats or Vokkaliga mutts, they have been greatly helping the common man in this state. There is no second thought about it. When you're talking political number, then you should say how many representation they have got. Now you're talking what you want to talk. Don't get into that. Let us restrict ourselves only on this report. The report is tabled now. Okay. What is minus going to happen, what is plus is going to happen is secondary. Just because some plus is minus is going to happen to somebody, you mean to say the report has to be not tabled. Now what is there in the table? They have given the caste census of each community, how much, what is the total population of the each community in the state is. Yes, let us discuss if there is some little bit change here and there, let us discuss about it. And the reservation pattern, still it has to come to the government, that's we'll see who has to be given what reservation. It's just a recommendation. Now first I would like to restrict myself and discuss only about the census which has come on the caste based census. Let us discuss only about that. Repercussion about elections, what is going to happen before election, which caste is going to vote somewhere. I've lived 30 years of political career, Rahul. Things will change in 6 months, in 2 months, or in 1 week also things will change. Now, what is the entire debate you want to take and talk about is about the caste census report which has been tabled by this government. We have to restrict that much only. Who is getting rubbed there? This is getting rubbed there. No,
it's
nothing,
not that simple.
Has done nothing wrong.
Mr. Lad, it's not that. Mr. Lad, let's have a frank conversation between mature adults. It is not just about the procedural enumeration of caste. Caste is about political representation. It is about the impact this report has on state politics. And why this is so important is because there are ripple effects on national politics as well. You can't run away from the reality. And forget what I am thinking. Look at leaders from your party.
Who is running away?
Shiva Ganga report is confusing and unrealistic. Forest Minister Ishwar Khandare, who's a Lingayat, says he's compiling views from community leaders. Shiva Shankarappa, who's a MLA from your party, survey is unscientific. No one came to my house. So there are multiple voices of discord from within the Congress party that are coming out and speaking out. So much so that there are elements who are suggesting that because after a certain number of time, midway through the term, it is DK Shivkumar's turn to take over, which is why Siddaramaiah, who's an OBC leader himself, has brought this report out to show Vokkaligas are fewer in number and therefore DK should not be made Chief Minister. I am not saying this, I am just telling you what is already being said in Karnataka politics.
I know. Rahul, I know you're a very smart man. So let us analyze this. This was started in 2014 and 15. So this is the second term where Siddaramaiah has become CM. So subsequent government did not table it. The BJP government would have tabled the same thing. They did not do it. See, now you want to speak what you want to speak, then you have to give me a lot of time to discuss on the same point, whatever you discuss. Right? Yes, if there is a political call throughout India, if OBC census is being told to the whole country, what is wrong about it? If the entire Rahul Gandhi wants to know that the entire country should know what is the OBC population, what is wrong about it? And what will happen to political consequences? Who wants to benefit whom? Everybody has to benefit from political parties. If political parties want to please OBCs, let them please. What's wrong about it? So, this is going to benefit ultimately OBCs, right? If OBC are larger chunk of this country, which you have to believe, and everybody has to speak about them. The whole country, if you come from Jammu to Kashmir to Kanyakumari, average 60 to 70% is OBC are the strength of this country. Apart from SC, ST and all minorities, not only Muslim, all are minorities left. All in every state OBCs are different. In Karnataka OBC is different, in Uttar Pradesh OBC is different, in Bihar OBCs are different. All put together, whatever surveys I have got, it's from a 60% average OBCs are there in every state. So if Rahul Gandhi is talking about them who are suppressed, who don't have political, that's what Mr. Ambedkar Sahab said. As long as you don't get political power, if you don't have a political empowerment, you will never grow.
Okay.
So if why are we talking about reservations? Why you only say that on caste basis? No, wait. Why are the caste basis tickets have given to Jat? Why are it has been given to Rajput? Why it has been given to Yadav? Is because of the strength of the caste. So likewise, if OBCs wants to get tickets based on to this report, in what wrong? So let every political party
I'll tell you what is wrong, and it's not
OBCs
wrong for me, it's a headache you and your party will have to deal with. Let's assume that you give OBCs more tickets, which is what they'll demand. So just hear my question, Mr. Lal, hear my question. You're saying what is wrong,
okay,
or what's the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is.
Don't paint it wrongly.
Allow me to complete my question.
Problem is in your story, Rahul. No, there's no problem. No. There is no problem. Why do you say there's a problem? I'll tell you why. First is you should appreciate the government. When you get a caste census of 7 crore people, the amount of effort they have put, first you should appreciate.
Okay.
You can't make a voter list. In every 6 months, there's a 50 lakh voter list changed. At that time, there's no problem in this country. From parliament to assembly, in Maharashtra, 42 lakhs vote got changed. How it got changed? It was not a problem in this country. When somebody has brought a broad caste census, gone to every door and subcaste is there. You read through that book. You know, there are 1800 subcaste in the state. They have gone. They have brought it. Yes, if there is some problem, let us address it. The way you are talking, I don't understand. You please continue. I would like to hear you from
No, my question was this. You are saying what can be the problem if OBCs get more tickets basis their numerical strength, which is what Rahul Gandhi wants. The problem, not for me, but the problem for the Congress party will be that there will be a counter consolidation of the Lingayats, of the Vokkaligas. And remember, I want to explain dynamics. I'm sure most viewers understand this already. It's not just Lingayat and Vokkaliga voters turning against them. It's their ability to mobilize at the community level, at the village level, which creates a problem bigger than the sum of parts. That is the challenge you'll have to deal with, and that is the issue, which is why it's a Pandora's box.
No. Why are you assuming things? Now you are asking like, you're talking like a political analyst, what is going to happen to 3 years?
That's what we're doing on the show, exactly.
See, now what is it you're talking? What was the discussion for? Why are you talking about that? Now you are not talking about the OBC report at all. You mean to say, you tell on your table whether this OBC caste census is right or wrong according to you, tell me.
No, I think any constant
You tell me about your opinion. You are talking so many other... No,
philosophically is wrong. I am very strongly opposed to it. I am very strongly opposed to the idea that you constantly...
Why so? Why it is wrong? No, let us see why it is wrong.
Because you want people to rise above caste. You don't want to drag them back to their caste. You want to make it an inclusive society where people are able to rise above their station. This idea, you are OBC, you are Lingayat, you are scheduled caste, you are Muslim, because you are Muslim we'll give you more tickets, therefore the percentage of tickets given to Muslims could double. All this has a counter effect in Indian society. That is the reality. Look, for example, at what's likely to happen with the Muslim population, which according to this is likely to be more than double of what it was previously. Category 2B, 8% Muslims, their population is about 12.56%. There are consequences to these decisions. I don't want to get into a moral judgment on right or wrong. The fact is there are political consequences to your report.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Now the government of India bought 10% for clean air. Why are we not supposed to discuss on the same in a studio now? You said no, you're totally wrong against all these things. We should raise above all these things you spoke. Then 10% for clean air was given. Let us discuss about it right now. You want to discuss about it? It is called EWS. Or the criminal or economical weaker section, they gave 10% reservation for whom? Who is included in it? Can we discuss on it, Rahul?
Okay. No, I don't want to get into an argument with the minister.
Can we discuss on it?
No, I have got guests from the BJP. They will answer.
Don't get into that.
No, because it's not my job to...
Rahul,
one second. My job is to ask questions.
My dear friend, Rahul.
Yes.
Then don't... Then you should only ask. Now, you create an opinion, you give an answer, and everything you say, don't do that.
No, you're a good debater.
Then you're a good guest. Political party is doing the same thing in this country.
Santoshji, you're a good guest to have on the show. You are pugnacious and feisty, which is great. But you're trying to trap me, and I won't get trapped because it's my job to ask questions. Okay, it's not. I leave my opinion outside the studio when I come.
Trapping. You're putting down the Congress here for all the reason. Don't do that.
No, I'm asking questions. Okay, fine. Yeah. So you
had your... come to your studio, Rahul. We'll discuss.
Ajo, I'll come and have a cup of coffee with you. Nice filter coffee. It'll be lovely to have that with you. All the best.
Love to have Rahul.
What will happen? What will happen in the cabinet tomorrow? Will the cabinet go through, or will there be lots of kitch-kitch between Shiv Kumar and Siddaramaiah and everybody else? Lots of confusing voices from your government.
Rahul, see now, Rahul, the whole studio is preparing the narration. This country runs only on the studio narrations, believe me, okay? What is happening in Karnataka, you can come and see. Everything is calm and cool. Yes, there are apprehensions. When you get such huge caste census report, everybody have got apprehensions. We have to respect everybody. Okay? We have to sit calmly and analyze. At last 80 years, why should not everybody know how much, what is our caste and community? Nobody's, Rahul, how much you're speaking? No. You come to the rural area. No, listen. You have to listen because you allowed me to speak. You said all those great things. There is no caste. Everybody has to above race caste. So today, discrimination of caste is not there in this country. You want to say about this?
Okay, that's not what I said.
You want to talk about Dalit atrocities in this country?
Caste is a reality. It's a very unfortunate reality. The question is, do we work towards rising above this reality as one India, or do we keep bringing people down to their caste? But you've had your say, Minister. Minister, you had your say. For joining us, Santosh Ladji, thank you very much. Chief spokesperson of the Karnataka government, joining us right before this cabinet meeting. You've heard what he could say. There were many questions he didn't answer, but I've got guests on the show who will try and answer those questions. Leading them is Sandeep Shastri, National Coordinator at Lokniti Network. I have R.K. Upadhyay, one of the senior most journalists out of Karnataka. I have Nagarjun Dwarkanath, he leads our coverage from Bangalore. I have Amitabh Tiwari joining us, one of our top political experts. And for perspective from the parties, I have Bhaskar Rao, Chief Spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, and I have Shatabish Shivana, he's the spokesperson of the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee. Sandeep Shastri, you heard what Santosh Lad said and did not say. Leave all that aside. Explain to our viewers watching and are confused, if this report goes through in the way that it's been made public, what impact does it have on the next Karnataka elections?
Rahul, that if is a very big if with a capital I and capital F, given the fact that there is dissension within the Congress on this. But if this were to go through, I think it is going to change the contours of politics in this state. Because the Lingayats and Vokkaligas together have always constituted more than half the MLAs of the country. And the fact that the report says that the relative strength of these communities is much lower than what was anticipated and what was projected, and that the other backward castes are much larger in number, would alter the whole projections that are made by politicians, by political parties about the relative strength of various parties.
Given the massive effect this can have on Karnataka politics, explain the timing in your view. Why is Siddaramaiah opening up Pandora's box at this moment?
Now, I think it's very clear. Siddaramaiah, like Devarajas in the past, is representative of backward caste politics. And traditionally, the Lingayats and Vokkaligas have always been categorized as backward castes. And whenever there was a move by a backward caste community to remove either one or both of them, there was strong opposition and it was not allowed, even when it was an attempted to. Now, this report now would automatically place within the backward castes the Lingayats and Vokkaligas as a very small proportion, and the whole talk of there being dominant backward caste would then get sidelined. So that, I think, is the impact. And as you very rightly said, Siddaramaiah sees himself as a spokesperson of the other backward castes, and he has been an Ahinda leader, and this is an opportune moment for him to make that point and see that role that he believes he can play. And also it reflects the internal dynamics within the Congress party, the effort of Shiv Kumar to claim that half the term belonged to him, and that politics is also very clearly visible. Let's remember, both the Lingayats and the Vokkaligas have a significant presence both in the Congress and in the BJP. And I will not be surprised if they cut across party lines to be able to come together on this issue.
Absolutely.
To defend their interests.
A political enemy's enemy is a friend, and therefore if their interests are impacted, they are likely to come together. Nagarjun Dwarkanath, ahead of the cabinet meeting, you've been working the phone lines, speaking to a cross-section of ministers and voices who matter. What, according to you, is most likely to happen when that cabinet meeting happens?
Well, the cabinet is completely divided, Rahul. If you speak to them off record, all the forward castes, Lingayats and Vokkaligas, and even including few OBCs are not happy with them. The main criteria is that we are underrepresented. Lingayats are completely spread over Karnataka from Bidar to Chamarajanagar. They feel that how could we be just 66 lakhs across Karnataka? We are such presence in all districts, all constituency. Out of 224, 115 to 120, they are deciding factors. So 7 Lingayat ministers will oppose the caste report tomorrow and urge the chief minister to resurvey. And also, for all practical reasons, this is a 10-year-old survey, so it doesn't serve the purpose. The population has grown across the state, and let's do it like Telangana is what one of the minister will be suggesting to chief minister. Give it 90 more days. Let's call for a new survey. Will be the suggestion. Hopefully, the cabinet will agree to it. Most likely, what we are told is the cabinet will accept this report, but also call for a fresh census to be done.
What is Siddaramaiah likely to do? Because this report actually suits him. It's anti-Shiv Kumar's community, the Vokkaligas in some senses, but actually suits Siddaramaiah's agenda.
Well, that's true. His ideology is always Ahinda, right? He stood for these OBCs and minorities and backward castes. It really does suit him. And also, in a larger perspective, Rahul, if at all by December, if he gets removed after the 2.5 year, 10 years, it's going to be very difficult for the High Command, because the Dalits, the Muslims and the backwards would solidly consolidate behind Siddaramaiah, because he's the one who showed the guts to put out these numbers after 10 years. The previous coalition government, previous BJP government sat on it, but now the time is up for Siddaramaiah and he's put it out. It's also one upmanship if you read between the lines.
Thank you very much, Nagarjun, for joining us. R.K. Upadhyay, there have been some reports to say because Rahul Gandhi praised Revanth Reddy publicly, therefore Siddaramaiah has come out and put this report out. Could that be true, or is that just a very juvenile, superficial way of looking at this? What explains the timing? He's been talking about making this public for a while. Why now? You're on mute. Yeah, go on.
A lot of pressure on various fronts that we see in Karnataka. Increased prices across the board, whether it's water, electricity, bus rates, whatever it is. And then, he's also under pressure because of the Pune case, which is still alive. And all these issues have come to the fore. and he has brought out a report which is more than a decade old. And there have been so many complaints about this report itself. The credibility of the report itself is in question because lakhs of people have said nobody came to our house during the survey. So, I mean, there have been umpteen complaints regarding this. So, whereas the minister claims 94% of the population was surveyed and all that. But then, what did you do for all this while? Why now? Why have you brought it out? And then, what about the figures? The number of, the cost figures that have been given, way beyond what anybody can accept. I mean, the Lingayat is given at 66 lakhs, and Vokkaliga at 61 lakhs. And each one of them have been, people have come.
Okay, Amitabh Tiwari, with you I want to focus on the impact a report of this nature with findings of this nature, which is what Rahul Gandhi is also suggesting, that the OBCs are underrepresented politically, that their numbers are actually much bigger than what conventional political wisdom suggests. So if these reports come out in other states, as an aggregate, what's the impact on national politics?
So clearly, on a short-term basis, this is likely to have a ripple effect in the Karnataka Assembly as well as for the Karnataka government, because for after a significantly long time, the Congress party was able to woo back a section of the Lingayats and also the Vokkaligas. Now at the national politics, if you see, now 2 of the 3 states of the Congress party in power have released or will have released the caste census report. 1 state under NDA has already released, which is Bihar. So now there will be pressure on other governments, and the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi will try to force BJP to do a caste census, or they will raise this point each and time again that caste census is going to be the main plank of the Congress party. However, that has repercussions for the government itself. He was speaking to the Karnataka government spokespersons. The Congress MLAs and ministers themselves are asking the report to be judged.
No, but let's take it one step further. We are only imagining a negative impact, but hypothetically, if the OBCs consolidate because they feel that Rahul Gandhi and the Congress has given them a larger say in politics, then even if the Lingayats and the Vokkaligas turn against you, isn't it to the advantage of the Congress in its current state?
See, essentially the Lingayats and Vokkaligas till now have been influential communities, and they pull the votes of the other sections of the community as well. At the national level, the BJP has been able to garner the OBC vote on this plank itself, that they have given higher representation to the OBCs. The Prime Minister himself is an OBC, and the proportion of the ministers in the Modi cabinet as well as in state governments is higher for OBCs compared to other Congress governments. This is a plank which may or may not work. We will have to see. However, it will have short-term repercussions for the Karnataka government, and it has come at a time where the 2.5-year rotational chief ministership period, the so-called rotational chief ministership, is going to come somewhere in October, November.
Bhaskar Rao, the concern for the Karnataka BJP is if the OBCs feel sympathetic towards the Congress and consolidate in favor of the grand old party, because ultimately the numbers were made public, this can have a ripple effect and put pressure on the BJP in other states, that Karnataka has shown what the real percentage of OBCs are, and therefore the governments of Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and the others must also do the same.
But this will be true only if the quality of the census is admissible. The Congress party itself is in great crisis whether to accept this report or not. Tomorrow probably the cabinet will be able to take a decision. The Lingayats are unhappy, the Vokkaligas are unhappy.
No, but the OBCs will be happy. Those whose percentage goes up. So those whose percentage, total new reservations are supposed to be 69%, with the addition of a 10% economically weaker section quota, 79%. So that's a 79% quota. If that happens, there are losers, but there are beneficiaries too.
Let the truth come out. This is not the truth. This is not a true portrayal of what is the picture in Karnataka over there. Let the truth come out over there. Everybody likes to...
So you're dodging my question. Forget this. I'm saying assume that things are the way they are. They are losers like the Vokkaligas and the Lingayats, but there are beneficiaries like the many OBC communities.
That is what I'm trying to tell you. You cannot rub one side and say that I'm portraying you in a positive way over there and then extrapolate what benefits are going to take place over there. This report itself is flawed. And first of all, you have been saying that this is a caste census. It is a constitutional impropriety to call it a caste census. Only the government of India can conduct. This is only a survey, and survey has got a sample. So the sample may be either being extrapolated or sample numbers are being touted around over there. So the entire...
No, but let S. Sivana respond to this. There are so many people, and I want to quickly ask R.K. Upadhyay, did somebody come to your house for this study? One second, before I go across to the Congress, did somebody come to your house for a study?
Nobody has come.
No, R.K. Upadhyay, you're on mute. Please don't keep muting yourself. Did somebody come to your house for a study? Go on, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Yes.
Nobody came to my house or any of the friends that I know of. Nobody has...
Okay, you're saying nobody came to you or your friends? Sandeep Shastri, did anybody come to you, your friends, your colony, your locality? Dr. Shastri?
Not in my area at least.
Do you know anyone whose house was surveyed?
Area at least.
Do you know anybody whose house was surveyed, Dr. Shastri?
Not in the layout that I live.
Okay.
Nowhere in Karnataka.
Not in the layout that I live.
Okay, let S. Sivana respond to this. Now, as people, this is just a biased sample, you could say. These are Bangalore boys, go to rural Karnataka. We've spoken to many people, but everybody will have his own anecdotal perception. If everyone or many people together say that nobody came to our house, then what is the credibility of the survey that you've done?
Firstly, I agree with Mr. Bhaskar Rao, and I would state that this is not a caste survey. This is a socio-economic and educational census or a survey, right? It's not about caste. It's not about the number.
No, is it a survey or is it a census?
1 second.
No, is it a survey? Is it a representative survey or is it a
economic educational survey? 53 questions were proposed to 10.6 million households, that is 5.98 crore people, that is 94% of the Karnataka's population, and one question out of the 54 was about caste. And
no, but you're saying 94% of the population has been surveyed, but forget the guests on the show because that's a biased sample, but everyone who is being spoken to, even including ministers in the Karnataka government, they're saying, no, we don't know anyone who was surveyed. Your own ministers are saying this.
Firstly, let me just give me 2 seconds to reply.
Yes.
Firstly, the purported statistics or recommendations and proposals that you are canvassing on your show, with all due respect, this is strictly confidential. It is only with the possession of the Honorable Chief Minister, the 32 ministers, and the Karnataka Backward Class Commission's chairman. Nobody else. Now the entire ruckus of whether it is scientific or not, let me put forth the information that is available on public domain. One, as I said, 5.98 crore people were surveyed. 1.6 lakh personnel, field personnel were mobilized for this operation. It is the most extensive data gathering effort by any state government. Number two, 54 parameters. This data, Rahul, was validated by the Indian Institute of Management. And the BEL, Bharat Electronic Limited tech firm, was employed on a 43 crore rupees contract to conduct the entire exercise. Now, are you saying the Indian Institute of Management is wrong for validating the statistics so provided? They came to my house, they came to many houses that we know of, they came to our assemblies, they came to our parliamentary constituencies. It is just our word against yours.
No, it's not my word. I have no word. I am sitting in Delhi, I have no clue. But I know that Shiva Shankarappa, who is the leader of the Congress party, says survey is unscientific, no one came to my house. He is amongst the percentage of people who nobody came. Sandeep Shastri is saying no one came to him. R.K. Upadhyay is saying no one came to him. Of course, Bhaskar Rao is going to say that, but let's discount him. But Sandeep Shastri and R.K. Upadhyay are hardly inimical to your government.
No, I am saying they have come to
his own minister says
I can get a dozen of political leaders or MLAs and MPs who claim that they have come to their house. Again, you know, there are certain communities that are upset with the proposed purported result. Yet this information is strictly confidential and it is under official consideration.
So 32 Karnataka ministers have it by your admission. Nothing that is available to 32 Karnataka ministers is going to remain confidential.
No, see, that is the thing. With all due respect, The statistics that you are claiming on your show is on the basis of leaked information. Why do you rely on this as official communication? Or, it is, the matter is still pending, and as you know, tomorrow it is going to be placed before the cabinet. The cabinet is going to discuss. They will decide whether to make it public or not, whether it must be tabled in the state legislature or not. Let all these things happen. Therefore, any public commentary right now is premature, it is misleading, and there is a potential.
You are arguing more like a lawyer than a... Are you a lawyer by profession, sir, by any chance?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, because you're arguing like a lawyer, less like a politician. The fact is that this is bad news for the Lingayats and the Vokkaliga community, which has been the fulcrum and the core of Karnataka politics. Now, you may be good at law, but in politics, this is bad politics. I mean, this is disastrous for any government that hopes to win again in Karnataka. Forget the legality, how will you deal with the politics?
No, I would deny. See, the Congress has always provided an open platform, and we will engage in a wider consultation with all stakeholders. The Lingayat community, if you claim that they have some inhibitions or reservations with this socio-economic survey, we will address their issues. If the Vokkaligas have some problems, we will address their issues. There are 32 Vokkaliga leaders who, from our very own party, who will voice their reservation tomorrow if they have any. And it will be dealt with amicably. And
one second. Let me put that question to Sandeep Shastri. You're making it seem very simple. No, sir. He's saying that we can address Vokkaliga and Lingayat concerns amicably. Is that an oxymoron, you think, given the directional trends of percentage coming down for the Vokkaliga and the Lingayats and percentage going up for the OBCs? Sandeep Shastri, do you buy what the Congress spokesperson is saying, or is he just trying to point us towards a mirage?
He's making he's seeking to make a very persuasive statement, but my challenge is, with a very large chunk of Congress MLAs belonging to these two dominant castes, Lingayats and Vokkaligas, would it not be very difficult for the party to be able to convince a majority of its MLAs about this, because they come from communities which are going to be adversely affected by this? Of course, I must use the word alleged report in the light of what the Congress spokesperson said. So I think tomorrow is going to see a battle within the Congress party on how to place this. I think they may say, as somebody said, accept the report but redo the census, the survey, because it was done more than 11 years ago. And that is the way they would try to bring both groups together. But I think it's going to be a huge challenge. The party will not find it easy to be able to deal with this, given the large numbers and the political strength that the MLAs of these two communities, the Lingayats and Vokkaligas, have. So it's not going to be an easy task for any government to be able to take it forward. And history has proved this. Even in the past, when attempts were made to try and take out Lingayats and Vokkaligas from the backward caste lists, the backward caste commissions have suggested it, but then it has not. The government has not been able to take that step forward.
Okay, all our guests have spoken. Make no mistake, this is a hornet's nest. It might make good politics for Siddaramaiah. It might be good for Rahul Gandhi's national projection and attempt to woo the OBC communities. But it's going to make life very difficult for this country. I mean, those are the harsh realities. It's very awkward and uneasy to discuss caste so openly on politics, which is kind of, you tiptoe around it. Don't address it head on, especially on live television. But it's the reality that holds and drives our politics. Interesting times. Politically, if you're an analyst and have no skin in the game, interesting times. For Mr. Shiv Kumar, who's on your screen, that's why he has the glasses, he's clearly frowning. Siddaramaiah thinks, okay, try and remove me. I'll unleash this report, and if I do, there will be hell to pay for everyone. Game on in Karnataka. We'll track what happens. Thank you to all my guests for joining us. We had an interesting, insightful conversation. The Congress party hit the streets to protest against the Enforcement Directorate's charge sheet against Sonia and Rahul Gandhi in the National Herald case. This is the first time the ED has named the Gandhis in the money laundering investigation. The Congress has termed the ED's action political vendetta, while the BJP says that the probe has exposed the Gandhi model of development.
Congress workers hit the streets across the nation in protest against the charge sheet filed against Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi in the National Herald takeover case. In the national capital, protesters breached barricades, shouting slogans against the central agency, and confronted the police. Many were detained by the police. Many Congress leaders, including Sachin Pilot, joined the party workers in the protest on Wednesday.
पूरे प्रकरण में कोई ट्रांजैक्शन, कोई लेन देन, कोई पैसा, एक नए रुपए का कोई लेन देन हुआ नहीं है, कोई पैसा निकाला नहीं गया है। कांग्रेस लीडरशिप ने लगभग 100 साल पहले इसकी परिकल्पना की थी और कांग्रेस पार्टी की विचारधारा से जुड़ा पूरा प्रकरण है। इसमें ये कहना कि नॉन प्रॉफिट एक एंटिटी है, उसमें कोई किसी ने कोई तनख्वाह, कोई पैसा, कोई बेचना खरीदना कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है, तो मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग कहां से आ गया? ये तो एक पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड केस है जिसको एजेंसीज प्रूव करना चाहती हैं।
The ED in his charge sheet has named Sonia Gandhi as accused number 1 and Rahul Gandhi as accused number 2. Gandhi family loyalist Sam Pitroda and Suman Dubey are also accused in the case. The ED has accused the Gandhis of money laundering, tax evasion and financial irregularities in the takeover of Associated Journals Limited by the Young Indian, the private firm controlled by Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi.
ये डेमोक्रेसी की हत्या करने के काम करते हैं बार बार, तो ये इनका विश्वास था नहीं डेमोक्रेसी के अंदर। इस प्रकार की जो इन्होंने अप्रोच रखी है वो बहुत खतरनाक अप्रोच है। सब जगह ये इस प्रकार से हरकतें करते हैं, दबाव देते हैं अधिकारियों पर, अधिकारियों को मजबूरी में आकर के रेड करनी पड़ती है। ये झूठा, बिल्कुल झूठा केस है, कुछ दम नहीं है। पूछताछ पहले हो चुकी है 3-3, 4-4 दिन तक।
सोनिया जी, राहुल गांधी बेल पर हैं। इन्होंने पूरी कार्रवाई को क्वाश करने के लिए हाई कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का दरवाजा खटखटाया और कोई राहत नहीं मिली। तो जो चीज 4 साल से चल रही है, जिसमें आप संतोषजनक जवाब नहीं दे पाए, जहां कानून अपना काम कर रहा है, वहां पर कर रहे हैं वेंडेटा।
BJP supporters put up posters in Mumbai demanding bulldozer action against properties linked to the National Herald case. With Shivani Sharma, Anmol Bali, Rahul Gautam, Bureau Report, India Today.
The politics over Bengal's anti-Waqf violence continues to escalate. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee accused the BJP and the BSF of orchestrating the clashes. She's alleged that the riots in Murshidabad were a pre-planned conspiracy. The BJP, on the other hand, claims that Mamata Banerjee is indulging in appeasement politics.
A semblance of normalcy has returned to large parts of West Bengal's Murshidabad district. But the scars of recent communal violence are still fresh. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Wednesday addressed a gathering of Muslim clerics in Kolkata. She launched a fierce attack on the central government and the BSF, also pointing fingers at the Congress, even as she called the riots a conspiracy.
इसमें बांग्लादेश का हाथ है। अगर हाथ है तो इसको जमींदारी तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का है कि बीएसएफ बॉर्डर संभालते हैं, हम नहीं संभालते हैं। मोदी जी के আমি রিকোয়েস্ট করব, দয়া করে লোকটাকে কন্ট্রোল করুন। এন্ড মুর্শিদাবাদ জেলা হলেও সিটটা কিন্তু মালদার মধ্যে পড়ে এবং ইটস এ প্রি প্ল্যান্ড কমিউনাল রাইটস।
Mamata urged the Muslim community to stay calm and not fall into what she called the BJP's trap. She announced 10 lakh rupees compensation to the families of those killed and promised new homes under the Banglar Bari scheme, along with relief for affected shopkeepers.
ফেকটাকে বিজেপির কেক করে দেবেন না, ফেকটাকে ফেক বলে ফেলে দিন, এতে উত্তেজিত হবেন না। মনে রাখবেন, আপনি উত্তেজিত হলে আপনারা হারবেন, আর আপনারা যদি শান্ত থাকেন আপনারা জিতবেন।
The BJP mounted its own counter-offensive. Led by leader of opposition Subhendu Adhikari, the BJP MLAs held a rally in Kolkata, holding posters of the violence and dubbing the day Hindu Martyrs' Day.
सेंट्रल एजेंसी का इन्वेस्टिगेशन और NIA के हालत बहुत खराब है। सेंट्रल फोर्स को कोऑपरेशन नहीं कर रहा था।
और सर आज नेताजी ने सीएम,
अरे वो छोड़िए, उसका बात छोड़िए। जो हिंदू धर्म को गंदा धर्म कहता है, सीएम नहीं है, वो खुद गंदा है।
A team of the National Human Rights Commission will visit Murshidabad to probe incidents of Hindus being targeted and the killing of Har Gobindo Das and his son Chandan Das.
इस तरीके की नफरत और वो भी यदि सरकार के नुमाइंदों की मौजूदगी में लोगों की हत्या हो रही है तो स्थितियां भयावह हैं, बर्बर हैं, खतरनाक हैं। भारत के अंदर भारत के नागरिकों को अगर अपने प्राण बचाने के लिए रिफ्यूज लेना पड़ रहा है तो हम समझ सकते हैं कि प्रशासन कहीं ना कहीं फेल हुआ है। इस कारण हमने ये निर्णय लिया है कि मानव अधिकार आयोग की एक टीम वहां जाएगी, इस घटना की जांच करेगी।
As the TMC and BJP trade accusations, on the ground, stories are of loss, grief and a slow road to recovery. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where I wrap up the NewsTrack tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye, good night.